One, 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 one. Welcome to the one-on-one. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one. I get the truth, then I give them the scoop. If anybody got a question, I give them the proof. Welcome to the one-on-one. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one. I get the truth, then I give them the scoop. If anybody got a question, I give them the proof. Welcome to One-on-One at Legacy Maker Sports Network. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for episode 94 of One-on-One here on the Legacy Maker Sports Network. We are creeping just a little bit closer, y'all. We're creeping just a little bit closer to the 100 mark. Started this bad boy during the pandemic, and now we are slowly getting that way. But look, very excited. We got a good one today, and I'm so excited to have this wonderful young lady on the show with me today. Ladies and gentlemen, she is the host of Sports and Coffee on the Twitter Spaces, and she is one of the best sports personalities out there, Miss Dee Chambers. Dee, what's up, baby girl?
How you doing? Long time no see.
Yes, you know
I
what,
love
Dee?
that intro. Hopefully, I can make the reel.
We'll work magic with it. Look, I will say this: it's an honor, to finally get a chance to have you on. Appreciate you for coming on, so we can talk a little bit about Dee Chambers and let people know what she's all about. You know, a lot of black and gold in the background. I see.
Yeah, a lot of black and gold. I had my DC Defenders flag, but it just was. I got to get the right kind of DC Defenders swag to put up here because I don't have a jersey yet, so we got to put them in here properly.
Yeah, see, I think that's gonna be the other piece. It's gonna be hard to get a DC Defenders jersey with someone's name on it, since it's probably gonna be high turnover here and there with players going back and forth. So you're almost gonna have to find that Chambers, or hopefully get that Chambers jersey.
I just want this particular one. I want, if you paid attention, they had the white jersey with the camouflage on it. I want that jersey. That jersey was fire. Okay,
was nice though.
That one. Hi, Coach Barlow.
Yeah, look, love Coach Barlow. We had a chance to cover Coach Barlow here on Legacy Maker when he was at Virginia State, right down the road from us, and that's one of the first teams we got a chance to cover. And Coach Barlow always been kind to the network. Much love to Coach Barlow. Wish they would have got the chip. They were this close. Wish they would have got the chip. It was heartbreaking. But with all that being said, we're ready to get this thing started. And of course, you know how we start things here on One-on-One, the interview style. It's time for the check-in. All right, so starting off with the check-in. Dee, want to check in on you. How you, your family, your friends, how are things going right now for Miss Dee Chambers?
We're doing okay. I'm doing okay over here. It's like OTA season for NFL, so I'm literally taking it day by day, trying to enjoy my Sundays off as much as possible before the season kicks off. So I'm enjoying life right now as much as possible.
Hey, look, that's all you can ask for. And believe me, I know the OTA dream, Commanders camp and Ravens camp this week. And I know that Raven, that R word, is a little bit dangerous for you. I know how you feel about
it. This is like my first season where I'm not paying much attention to OTAs, which is a first. It feels great. I'm just letting OTAs play out until camp starts. That's when I'll be locked in.
And then that's when you'll be ready. That's when you'll be ready.
I'm figuring out ways to take my breaks.
Hey, look, it's smart because you need that mental health rest before you head up. Like, once we get past OTAs next week, I'm about to take that whole month to get myself ready for training camp. So I understand completely. All right, so let's go ahead and get into let's break down Dee a little bit. Let's try to figure a little bit out about Dee. So Dee, I want to know where your passion for sports came from when you were like 8, 9, 7 years old, and when you knew it was like, oh man, I want to be involved in sports in some form or fashion. When did that happen for you?
So I grew up with male cousins. Basketball was a big sport that everyone watched in my family. I became a basketball lover first and a Michael Jordan lover. So sports, I was always around sports. per se, but I played basketball, but again, I am very, very competitive. So I have really bad sportsmanship.
No.
So when I play basketball, I'm like Draymond. Like I relate to Draymond Green so much. I throw a little elbow, a little, whatever.
Yeah.
But so I played sports, but not to probably my potential level because of my just poor sportsmanship.
Now, were you out here getting teased and stuff? Were you out here getting technical fouls? Wasn't chopping people in the ribs,
I'll
little elbow
definitely be
shot.
like, look, ref, like what was that? Like hello? That was a
Ah.
foul.
All right, so all
Even
right,
in the
check.
neighborhood, like I'm throwing elbows to the dads out there. Like we're getting it in.
So,
I'm
all right,
fouling.
so we're at a cookout and we're doing a 3-on-3 tournament. It is very essential that I grab D to be my enforcer on this
Yep.
team. That's what you're telling me right now.
Yep,
All right,
absolutely.
all
I
right.
mean, maybe not D today, because D today is get a little tired. But D 10 years ago, she would be in there. D today, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna just pull up. I ain't gonna.
Hey,
I ain't doing all
okay,
that.
now how good is the jump shot? I mean, you can
It is
be honest.
rusty. It is really bad. I've actually been working on it. I've been going to like about once a week. I'll go in the gym and working on it. It's so bad.
But I
My
mean,
handles
like,
are terrible now. I'm working on it
but
though.
what, 10 years ago we were
Yeah,
in
we
it.
went in there. I had some more stamina then. We could have.
Hey, look, the older
We could play horse now. Like
yeah.
that's what we could play.
Look, the older we get, man, the more it hurts. So look, I understand completely. Now, with that being said, let's talk about your college journey. Take us through college. What got you into the sports journalism realm? We want to know all of that. How did all of that take place, and how did you become the host of Sports and Coffee, the sports personality that we know now?
So my college journey was interesting because I always wanted to do radio when I was little. I had a dream. I was like, oh, I'm going to be on the radio when I grow up. It's going to be the best job ever. And my mom was like, you should probably go to school for like healthcare or something. Like she was not really feeling the radio dream. And I was like, why is this lady like not supporting me? So I decided, okay, I'm gonna go to school for management because look, you can manage anything, right? You can
Right.
learn it, you can manage in different areas. So I went to school for management, finessed an internship with the local radio station.
Smart.
And I went in, figured it out, worked in the promotions office, kind of saw what was going on, saw how much money they were making, and I was just like, I'm good. Y'all don't make enough money for me. I'm gonna go ahead and do the school thing, and landed an IT job and been working in the IT sector for like over 13 years now.
That's amazing. It's like I
Yeah, so
saw the
sports,
money, thought about it.
I've always
Nah.
loved sports, always wanted to do media, but when I saw the math wasn't mathing for me. I was like,
Right.
what? Huh? So I had to, the passion never left, but my desire to make a decent amount of money.
Well,
Pushed
which I
me in
understand.
the
You
direction.
gotta live. You gotta live.
Yeah.
That's very important. But with
Mhm.
that, but somehow, some way, even despite making it say, I'm not going to the radio,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
found a way. Thank God for
Mhm.
social media. You found a way
Yeah.
to get your voice out there. You found a way to um, you know, let people know what D's all about. So when it comes to the sports realm,
Yeah.
sports journalism, you've been in the game for a while. Tell us how that all kind of began after you decided, well, I need the money, but I still want to get my sports in.
It's similar to your show, right? The pandemic helped me with my career. I was on the road a lot. So I had this lovely, just overwhelming passion for the Pittsburgh Steelers and NFL, and it just consumed me at times. It was like dangerous, the type of fan I was at the time. I'll get to the fan word in a minute, but and when the pandemic hit, I'm sitting still. I'm not going anywhere. I am able to engage with audiences about the game and how I feel. So I started getting on Instagram Live, doing a pre and a post game show on live, and then people were engaging. And then I brought in someone to come on live with me, and then that evolved into something else. And it evolved from being just on Instagram to the YouTube that I do during the season. I do a show for the Steelers called the Steelers Chat on my YouTube D Love Sports YouTube, and then Clubhouse was a big thing, and then Twitter Spaces opened up and evolved, and I started joining different spaces and seeing how they talked about football. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wake up in the morning every morning and I'm gonna start my own show. So it's sports and coffee. So we talk about sports for 2 hours every morning, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and the latest and greatest. And that's how it started. And it grew from maybe having like 10 to 15 people in a room. And I think one of our highest shows were like 1,900 people came in and out during that time period to talk sports. And, I'm proud. It's been going a year and a half strong now, and that's my baby.
So it's on your baby, and if you don't mind me asking you, and you don't have to tell us, you don't have to say anything, I understand completely. What are you averaging on the Twitter Space? Twitter Space hasn't been something that I've jumped into yet.
Yeah,
and I know that's something I've thought about, but I haven't gotten it. But what are you averaging on that?
It's evolved. So back then there wasn't a lot. Sports and Coffee was like one of the only sports morning shows. It has evolved. So we were averaging like maybe 400, at our peak, 400 people in, but it's evolved. There are other spaces that are in the morning that talk about sports. So, you got people that hop from different spaces.
Right.
So, I mean, like on a slow day, it's 100 of us and we're like a family now, right? We're a family, and, we know who's going to be repping for this particular news or whatever, or this team won last night, so this person has to come in, or your team lost, so you got to come and defend your team that lost the night before. Yeah. So I mean, anywhere like on a slow day, we got like 100. On a great day, we got 300, 400 people that come in and out of the space. That's awesome. And to me, like at this point, like the numbers don't matter to me. I don't even look at the numbers anymore.
Having fun.
Yeah, we have really developed relationships, and we attract new people all the time. People are like, I never knew, and people send the spaces to other people, and they're like, you got to come in here, you got to listen. We start talking about food because we're just so comfortable and familiar with each other that we go off topic all the time. So it is truly something that I'm happy and proud of, and when I'm not able to do it, I miss it. I miss our family.
Right.
So
that's the way you want it, I mean, when like I said, and we all know when you're in this, I feel like when you're in the sports industry, you got to do it, one, because you love it, especially when you're coming up the way we come up, because it ain't really about the money. It really ain't about the money. I mean,
and the money, it's sad that it can't be
right. The money, to me, the money is a nice secondary. I always told somebody, I'm like, the money part of it would be more just so I could do it all the time without having to worry about anything else.
Right.
That would be the money part for me. Like if I was making like minimum wage or decent enough to take care of my family, as long as I was doing that and I could still do sports, I'll be happy with that. I don't need the millions. I don't need the Stephen A money. The Stephen A money would be nice. Don't get me wrong.
Stephen A money would be nice. But
I don't need the Stephen A money.
You got to get like this much of the Stephen A money to get in the door, right?
Just a little bit. I don't need a ton.
I hate that about media, though. I hate that it's so, to me, undervalued, right? If you're not the big face, big name, because people sacrifice so much. And that's what I saw. And when I was in radio, I saw the amount of time these people were sacrificing to be on the radio, not just radio, their time slot every day, but everything they had to do promotional wise. They had to go to this event. They were doing clubs at night. They were doing all these things to make a decent living. And I thought it was cool, but then when you really got to see, what they had to go through I was just like, oh my gosh, no, not for this. I could go to work Monday through Friday and do better than this, but it is true. It has to be, you have to be 100% passionate about it.
The grind is different. I tell people all the time, I was like, they're like, oh man, I thought you did. People think I make they must think I'm rich.
People don't know. People have no clue. They were like, oh my God, you're gonna work at ESPN one day. You're gonna be. I'd be like, ask one of them ESPN reporters that names you don't know how much money they're making.
And I'm making more money than them right now. So we're gonna stick with where we got it.
Like it is. And I have. Especially kids that are coming out of school, like they don't have I don't establish there. I don't know who's gonna pay these bills, but I'm a grown woman. I'm not straight out of college, so I got real bills.
It's like art, like when people like you see a movie or something like that, and they're like, well, the parents are like, I want you to be a doctor, I want you to be this, and the person wants to be an art student. Well,
Yeah,
y'all, when you see those movies, that's what sports media is kind of like
it
the same
is.
way.
It really
It's
is.
like, well, we just want to be the art student. That's what we love. But you're
And
like, I need this. I need this.
people are like when the people see you on the camera or interviewing someone special, people are supportive when they see you get those wins.
Mhm.
But like there's so much behind it that people
So
really have no idea.
it's just so
No
much.
idea about.
Yeah, but I
So
mean, look,
support your media friends, your journalists, your
yes,
reporters, your news anchors.
yes,
Support them, y'all.
yes,
Take them
D,
out to dinner.
preach, preach, D, preach. That's all I can say.
Support them.
Preach, preach, preach. Now, before we move on to our next segment, we got to talk about the team that is right behind you. All of that black and gold,
Yeah, all of
and
it.
it's a lot. It's a lot of black and gold. One of
Yeah.
and I don't. You can close your ears on this. One of my greatest moments in my Packer fanship obviously would have been Super Bowl. Close your ears. 45. I mean, but
We don't.
I've always had respect for the Steelers. I don't have no disrespect for the Steelers. There's certain teams I'm like, man, I cannot stand that team. And they're, even after the Super Bowl, y'all just had our number for a while. Every time we played y'all, it was just, oh my God, Pittsburgh gets
Yeah.
on my nerves.
So
But
Aaron came along.
and then old Aaron came along. But
Where you go now?
I mean, it is what it is. It's the J Love era now in Green Bay. So let's talk about Pittsburgh. We're in year 2 of Kenny Pickett. It's different. Just when everybody thought last year that Tomlin was finally going to, have that losing season, the boys,
Everybody but me. I
the,
didn't believe. But go
the
ahead.
boys said no. Right. And
I
see,
was
here's
not
the
a
thing.
believer.
I told somebody, I was like, nah, man. I said, they were what, 5-8. I said, I don't know what it is. If Tomlin got magic, they're gonna find a way. And they did. They played so much better down the stretch. What are your expectations? What's your lookout for this team under year 2 with Kenny Pickett? What are you looking for from this Pittsburgh Steelers team?
A lot. The youth. If you look at that offense, they're so young. So
Right.
there's so much to me potential in that offense. They are determined. Omar Khan and Andy have are determined to get that offensive line some identity, and I am excited. I'm excited for camp because there are going to be some battles, y'all. There going to be some fights. They brought in a lot of new guys to fill in for the offensive line. So you got the Dan Moore and good Lord Dotson. They're gonna be fighting for positions now. So these guys' livelihoods, first, second spots are up for grabs. So it's going to be some battles at camp. But I really think this offense as a whole unit is so young with so much potential. You got a bunch of 20-year-olds, second, third year guys, on this offense, and I'm so excited for that. The defense is more on the veteran side. You got a couple new guys. Our secondary, for the most part, is new. Levi's in his second year. James Pierre's in his third year. Minka Fitzpatrick, he's a vet now. Patrick Peters, he's a vet, but he's new. He's new to the squad. We got Joey Porter Jr., who's a rookie and new. So the defense secondary is a big question mark. Not saying they can't. I am curious to see how it all comes together and what it looks like. We just lost so much on the defensive side of the ball, from the linebackers and our corners. It's going to be interesting, but I'm excited because we got vets and we got rookies and we got people in there to kind of guide those new guys in. I'm excited to see what happens, but that offense is young, and I'm excited to see what they put together and how the biggest thing is protecting Kenny, which again I think he evolved in that second half of the season, like you said, to a point where that team was able to get over the hurdles and come out with a winning season after going 2-7.
It was rough.
Come on now.
It was rough.
Think about that.
But if they were 2-7, they were 2-7. So that means they finished 7-1 heading down that stretch, just to be 9-8. And my thing about this Pittsburgh team is you got the most underrated, and it's gonna sound crazy for a coach that's won a Super Bowl, but you got probably one of the most underrated long-term coaches out there,
Yeah.
and
Never won Coach of the Year either.
never won Coach of the Year. He's been there since 2007, 2008. I think he might be the longest tenure coach in the league right now, if I'm not mistaken. For the for the team, that's the secret weapon that they have. The players love him. I've never got an indication that people dislike Mike Tomlin. And I think that's the key piece to all the puzzle. You got TJ Watt coming back. You can't go wrong with having TJ Watt.
Right.
Very, very excited to see them draft Joey Porter Jr. I thought they may have taken the leap in the first round, but you go get Broderick Jones, the big man from out of
shout out to
Georgia.
Bill Belichick. I mean, he was being petty, so he
Yeah.
was like, all right,
by all means. So you're like,
right.
take it, but for y'all to still get Joey Porter Jr., which people are excited about having another Porter on that Pittsburgh Steelers team. I'm intrigued to see what Pittsburgh looks like.
Yeah, I am too. I think, with the changes as far as, like I said, the secondary and Joey Porter Jr. being, growing up kind of at the facility and still being a Pennsylvania kid. He went to Penn State. I just feel like it was a good fit. I feel people kind of wanted that story to be written. But Steelers were like, look, they probably kind of told him, like, look, if you fall to the second round,
we got you.
We're probably gonna come scoop you up now.
Yeah.
But of course, like I said, the offensive line is key. So they had to go, they went and got one of them Georgia boys real quick. It was like, hey, Jory, you still there? We're gonna go ahead and scoop you up.
It worked out perfectly. You get the offensive lineman you desperately needed. You get Joey Porter Jr., who's a very talented cornerback coming out of, or defensive back coming out of Penn State. So good things to come. Good things to come for the Steelers. It's gonna be a tough division, though.
It is. I mean, I'm gonna say it always is, but it's always between usually Baltimore and Pittsburgh. But Cincinnati's doing really well, and
the Browns have Deshaun. So
Deshaun and the Browns are supposedly doing things, but I just haven't seen. I cannot put my money on the Browns. They would just have to show me something.
Yeah. It's suspect. You never know.
I was like, I just
never know.
It. You gotta prove me wrong. I haven't. If they beat us in the playoffs that you got one year, we just played terribly in the beginning of that game.
Right.
But still, like that was literally their Super Bowl.
That's right, and it's still the Browns. But we'll see if they ever. Well, we'll see if they ever get it all together. So there it is. Yeah. Dee gives us her insight on what this Pittsburgh Steelers team could look like during the season. Now it's time for my favorite segment of the show. It is time for Quick Ones. Dee, are you ready for
quick? I'm trying to be like, am I going to be ready for this? I'm nervous.
Look, don't be nervous. Look, there's a couple of softballs that are going to be tossed in here in the beginning. Like the last two, the fun ones might get you a little bit. For those who are just listening to the show for the first time, quick ones, we're going to ask a couple quick questions, kind of dig in to see what Dee likes and what her favorite things were. Maybe some worst things in there, but Dee Chambers, are you ready for the Dee Chambers edition of Quick Ones here on 101?
Yes, absolutely.
She is ready. Let's get it started. First one. Quick Ones. Favorite sports moment for Miss Dee Chambers. And it could be your personal one. It could be just in general.
I have two. But
give me both.
Give me both. During camp, when I got to ask Mike Tomlin a question during the training camp, and then two was during the XFL championship, asking The Rock a question and Danny Garcia a question during that. That was one of my favorites because I was, it involved me.
Look, ain't nothing wrong.
Last game, that was a great moment to be at and experience that. So that's three.
That's a good deal. I mean, but look, you got to show love for the hard work that you put in. So ain't nothing wrong with one of your sports moments being something that you went through. I mean, heck, I remember for me, I asked Aaron Rodgers a question my first year when they were playing at the time Washington other team or Washington organization. What does it say? Washington organization. They were playing the Washington organization at the time, and I got to ask him a question. I was still to this day, I was like, wow, I can't believe I asked Aaron Rodgers. But that wasn't on video. I was audio, but we got it in there. But those are the moments that are just amazingly important. All right, let's go to the next one. Worst sports moment.
Worst sports moment. Ooh, for me, losing that Super Bowl to the Green Bay Packers.
I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm not. I mean, I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry because
No,
I
yeah,
like that
like
sport.
those are words. Like I'll give you still the XFL, like the XFL championship, kind of seeing those guys that you've been, filming and
Right.
quote unquote working with, and seeing them come short. That freaking sucks. That just it sucks so bad.
Yeah. I'm.
So that was a low moment for me. And then the last Super Bowl we played in was pretty low.
So
Mendenhall, what's up?
I do apologize for that.
What's up,
I do.
Mendenhall? Mm-hmm.
I gotta apologize for that one. I will say though, the defenders thing did hurt. And
Yeah.
I consider myself a defender. I
Yeah.
covered a team. The XFL coming back. I was a big fan a couple years ago. You can't go wrong with the beer snake. As a photographer, my whole thing was Darrell, don't get hit by lemons. That was all I really cared about. Don't get hit by a lemon. You're going to be fine. So I hated to see that go down. Yeah, no, right. Look, every time that it's a bad call, I was like,
nah.
I felt
like Stephon Diggs watching that confetti fall, and the Renegade celebrating, and the defense sitting there looking at that confetti and them celebrate, and watching the defenders just kind of be sad. I'm like,
they worked so hard. They were so good all year long. Good all year long. That's the part that I think was just like, man, but you know what? They'll come back strong next year. Coach Barlow will have them ready to rock and roll. Next one on quick ones. Favorite athlete growing up?
Growing up, definitely Michael Jordan. Absolutely Michael Jordan growing up.
MJ all day. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Is he the GOAT?
He's my GOAT.
All right, that's all. That's all I was just asking. I'm just making sure. Some people get upset when you that GOAT question is a loaded question, man. So you know how to go. All right, so now let's go to the fun ones.
Okay.
Here's the next one. Favorite movie of all time?
All time.
Yes, and doesn't have to be sports. Just favorite movie of all time. Just something that it comes on TV, you watching it. It's your love. What you got?
I'm not a big movie person, believe it or not. The first movie that came to my head was Selena.
Selena's and Latinos. Let me tell you something, man. Oh my God, Selena is in my top 10. Yeah. And I do actually have it written down, my top 10 movies. Selena is number 6 on my top 10 countdown. Nice. She just so I didn't know. I don't know how you felt when you watched the movie, but I gotta ask you this. So when I watched the movie for the first time, it was me and my sister, and it was when it came out. HBO used to do the big premieres. Here it is, big premiere HBO. So me and my sister were watching it, and we're into this. Like, we're deep into this. We're like, oh man, we don't know what she was saying, but we were enjoying the music. Everything was just great. The storyline, magic. And then the end happens.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie to you. You saw 2. I was like, I think I was 13, 12. And my sister was like 8. We're balling. I mean, we had no clue that she was gonna die.
Yeah.
No clue that was what was gonna be the storyline, man. I mean, I was heartbroken. I still don't feel good about it.
So I stumbled upon it. So it's not like today where you could watch it like on demand. So I was just flipping through, and I remember watching it, and it was like the scene where her and her brothers on the bus, and they caught that flat tire, and it was like, anything for Selena. So that's where I came in on the movie. I'm like, what is this? And it took me a while to know, because you didn't know, it didn't tell you what you're watching back then.
Right.
So I just had to be I was like, I think it's Selena's. I don't know, I didn't know what I was watching. So I finally figured out it was the movie Selena, and I became obsessed. I got a book, I got the clothes, she had a clothing line out. So I was Selena obsessed at one point. So
don't feel bad.
Selena has to be in that top.
Don't feel bad. And it's so funny. My daughter, my middle child, she's definitely my child, because musically, everything I listen to, she's right there with it. She walks around the house with her Selena shirt on. She knows more because she speaks a little bit better than I do on it, but I was like, man, you jamming. So there's some songs she was playing. I was like, wait a minute, I like that one too. Yeah. And so it's crazy how it all kind of came about. But yeah, man, that movie is
Selena obsessed for a little bit.
Right over here on my wall, on my posters of all of my favorite movies. Selena's right over there as we speak. It's just woo. That's a good one. I see D.
You weren't
expecting that one. Here. No, I'm cool with it though, because I said, we right here.
Yeah.
Last one. Here we go. We're gonna finish up quick ones. You're having a dinner with 4 celebrities.
Mhm.
Who are the celebrities you're having dinner with and why?
Okay, I've answered this question before.
Ah.
One of them is Whitney Houston
Oh, yes.
because I think she would be hilarious to have a dinner with. It's my personal opinion. I'm always gonna throw Mike Tomlin in there because, like, why not? Like, why would you not want to have
Nice.
dinner with Mike Tomlin?
Mikey T, man. Mikey T.
Yeah. So the rest, so one of my other go-tos is Troy Polamalu, but I don't know if I want Troy at dinner. I feel like Troy ain't gonna,
To my Palamalu?
Polamalu. He's one of my
You
goats.
don't want him at dinner? Come on.
I do want him at dinner, but I want dinner like we got Whitney Houston, Mike
Mike
Tomlin,
T.
and Troy Polamalu. Like I don't want Troy to feel uncomfortable at dinner. You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
but just I mean, but okay, all right, I get
But
you. I
he could
get you.
come. He could. We would just put him on the list. Troy's at dinner. And then my 4th person. Let's just bring. I want to say bring Barack Obama, but I feel like you can't come without Michelle. So it's
Right.
like
+1.
dang.
+1.
Maybe I invite them both, and he'd be like, you know what, Michelle can't make it, but I'm still coming. Be like, all right, come on in.
So we doing the Obamas as a team. So we just gonna say the Obamas,
The
Troy
Obamas,
Palamalu,
Mike
Mike
Whitney
T,
gotta be there.
and Whitney Houston got to be there.
Yeah.
No Bobby Brown. I mean, I'll let
No
you
Bobby
add
Brown.
no Bobby Brown. No Bobby.
Sorry, Bobby.
No, sorry.
Love you, Bobby.
Love you, Bobby. All right, everybody. That was it for the Dee Chambers version of Quick Ones here on One on One. And of course, before we go to our last segment, we want to thank Dee for coming on and just being a part of the show today. Dee, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Let's go to our last one. It's time to leave your legacy. So I want you to leave your legacy here when it's all said and done. And you get a chance to, you're touring Paris or, you're in Italy and, you're sitting on the river boat, they ride down the boats and they got the guy with the hat on, he's pushing and you're drinking, pina coladas and whatnot. What do you want people to say about your career in the sports journalism world? What do you want people to say about Dee Chambers? What legacy do you want to leave?
Shoot, like that I'm my authentic self, that I was genuine. And that I cared. I try my best to be genuine. I try my best to talk and get information from people and show people in the best light.
Right.
And I'm truly I'm not. I don't call myself a reporter or a journalist because sometimes that can be a little negative and it can be a little nasty. But for me, I'm a sports personality because I genuinely want to be myself when I'm doing this work. I want to be able to present myself genuinely, naturally, and authentic and just be real and kind to people because I know sometimes it can be an unkind
yeah. Believe me, I understand that a 1,000%.
Yeah.
I ran into some people that are not so friendly in this, and I'm just like, wow, why are we so nasty? I know sports can be competitive, even in the sports media world. It's extremely competitive amongst people because I got to get the news out first, so I got to be the person that does this and that. So I understand that, I truly do. But man, you do run into some nasties out there.
You do, and I don't want to be that person. I know that I get laser focused when I'm doing sports, but I don't ever want someone to say like she's mean. She wasn't welcoming, she wasn't nice. Like, that's never ever my intent. So I don't want to ever leave that. When I leave a room, someone saying that about me.
Well, we met a couple months ago, and I have nothing but raving reviews about the amazing Dee Chambers. That's just my vibe. Some people you meet them and you like, oh, that person is cool. Like right off the bat, that was the vibe I got from it. And I knew when I was setting up new season, I'm like, Dee Chambers got to be on here. I just got to make sure that she said yes. That's where it was all on that. So like I said, that was. I
appreciate the invite. I really do. Thank you.
We were glad to have you. Anything you got going on right now? You want to throw some love to your brand out there? Anything that you want to give right now?
Sports and Coffee. I am Dee Love Sports on all social media. So just come through. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Of course, Steelers Chat will be coming out in the fall. I love to have guests on there, so you never know who will come through that week as a guest. And definitely come through Sports and Coffee. We are on Twitter Spaces. You can follow me on D Love Sports. You can follow the Sports and Coffee page. It's sports, the letter N, coffee, and underscore after the coffee. And come on over. Make sure you're locked in and join us Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And we talk sports. So we'll see you tomorrow, or we'll see you Monday morning.
If you wanted to get real, y'all already know where you need to go. Before we get out of here next week, let's talk about next week's guest. We got my man, Mr. Theo Dorsey, coming in, sports anchor, radio host on ESPN West Palm 106.3 down there in Palm Beach, Florida. We're gonna talk some Heat. That's gonna be a fun conversation right there. It's gonna be. Hopefully, we're talking about a game 7 when he comes on next Sunday, or by that time somehow Miami figured it out and won the championship that following Thursday. That's where we at right now. So we're gonna see how that goes. But Theo Dorsey will be coming on for episode 95. Here on Legacy Maker Sports Network for one-on-one. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go, once again, the wonderful, the amazing Dee Chambers. Thank you, Dee. We really is so glad that you came on.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me, and good luck this season.
Yes, that's all we can ask for is luck. We'll see how it goes. The Jordan Love era will be interesting, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we know. Once again, everybody, I'm Darrell Owens. We got Dee Chambers. This has been One-on-One, episode 94. Thank you all once again.
Bye.
Legacy Maker, the All Sports Network.
One. Welcome to the one-on-one. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one. I get the truth, then I give them the scoop. If anybody got a question, I give them the